Hi, everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer, and welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime streaming show, direct from a undisclosed location in the greater Manhattan area. We just saw some 16 millimeter film from the Coronet Film Company. This was a bunch of their outs and raw footage that they shot and would use in various educational films. You notice we shot it, or we scanned it at what we call overscan, so you actually get to see the sprockets and a little bit of the frame above and below. We do that sometimes if we're looking for information between the sprockets, or if we're looking to frame the image later on. But this gives you a chance to see that there was no soundtrack on the right, like most sound films that have optical soundtrack. There's a soundtrack on the right. It was just silent films or silent footage. Anyways, it's kind of interesting because it's a mixed bag of stuff, and almost all of it is Kodachrome, so it's really beautiful. All right. The next film we're going to watch is an interesting public service film made by UPA, the people that made Mr. Magoo. And this film's called Inside Magoo. And this is about, I believe, getting a colonoscopy. Mr. Magoo is confronted with having to have his required checkup. And we actually get to see Jim Backus, the voice of Mr. Magoo, also talking about the importance of screening for cancer. So yeah, this is a really interesting, odd film. So enjoy.
With something you can see. Just to remind you what screens, movie or TV, have brought you. This is what you looked at before they filled the first screens with this. 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 The movies got bigger and better. As they grew, they mirrored us all. The movies show us as we were then, what we were before then, and what we may become. Some of the history the movies recorded wasn't pleasant. Some was. As we watch and are amused at our past, at how things change, well, some things don't change. More history. Some of the earliest animation in the history of the film business. Animation grew bigger and better, too. At first, it was believed that animation could only use humor. But soon they found that sometimes a drawing was clearer than a picture. Or a drawing could take you where a camera could never go. Incidentally, this hand belongs to Steve Basusto, head of UPA, the studio that created Mr. Magoo. The gentleman making the noise is Jim Backus, who has been Mr. Magoo's voice since the day Magoo was born.
You know, as an animated creature, I can do all kinds of things that human beings can't. For example, well, I can be serious, and and by being funny, I hope I can make you watch and think about something that maybe you don't like to think about. What Jim is trying to say is that we just finished a picture about a problem. The problem is making you help yourself by facing some facts. But since pictures are better than words, in a word, here's Magoo.
I tell you, by George, Home, sweet home. My, goodness. What a beautiful day. Happy, 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 what a happy. Hello. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful day. Oh, good morning, world. What a day. It's great to be alive.
Morning, Mr. Magoo.
Why, you young whippersnapper. Oh, let's see what the headlines say. A severe cloudburst due soon. Different time. The weatherman's been right ears. Good for the farmers, though. Makes the crops jump right out of the ground. And they on the wheat and barley. Bumper. Beautiful day. Oh, beautiful music.
Today, man is very smart.
True.
He takes advantage of his leisure time to build up his body,
Yes, sir.
like playing golf.
Oh, that's my game. Keeps the waistline down. Or,
He hikes to build up his wind.
the great outdoors and the fresh air. Time well spent.
He plays tennis to develop his muscles.
Tennis. That's one cat said to the other. My old man's in that racket.
Yes, man is very smart and also very stupid. If he doesn't have that health checkup once a year, the number of Americans having checkups has more than doubled since 1948. In that same time, the cure rate of cancer has improved. In 1948, only 1 out of 4 cancer patients were being saved. Today, the rate is 1 out of 3. And if more people had that health checkup, you, for instance, it could help bring that cure rate up to 1 out of 2. It's the third button.
Oh, thank you. Oh, what powerful brakes. Who stop on a dime? Oh, my. Raining again.
Do you know the 7 danger signals of cancer?
Cancer smancer. I'm a Sagittarius.
Unusual bleeding or discharge.
Oh!
A lump or thickening in the breast or elsewhere. A sore that does not heal. Change in bowel or bladder habits. Hoarseness or cough. Indigestion or difficulty in swallowing. Change in a wart or mole. The American Cancer Society says, if your signal lasts longer than 2 weeks, go to your doctor to learn if it means cancer.
What a depressing subject. Magoos just don't have cancer. I had the mumps once, and measles, and a movie house. I'll just get lost in the drama. Oh, better yet, a comedy. Homer Belly Laugh, my favorite. One down front, please. Oh, standing room only. I'll just wander around the lobby. Oh, you look pretty sharp today, Magoo.
Change in a wart or mole.
Oh, no.
A lump or thickening.
Oh, water. Give me water.
Hoarseness or cough.
Oh, pardon me.
Unusual bleeding.
Oh, my. I'd better get a checkup. Doctor's office upstairs. One flight up. Save money. I hope this won't take long. Oh, too late. I feel woozy. Oh no. No, dear. Well, cute little nursey. Why not? One last fling. How would you like...
Next.
Oh, this is it. Oh, last of the Magoos. Last of a dynasty.
Say,
Oh. Yahoo! I I don't have it. No cancer. No anything else. Yahoo! Ah, my favorite nurse. Oh, the polka doodle-doodah. Take the time, man. Don't put it off. Get your checkup now. Do I make myself clear? Take the time. Now. Now. Now.
Now. Get a checkup today. Today, right now. I have a PS to add to this picture. During production, we at the studio realized that we hadn't had a checkup. Well, as a matter of fact, I realized I haven't seen a doctor since the day I was born. One day, after our checkups, we were comparing notes when we realized that before our checkups, all of us had asked the same question. What is a checkup for cancer like? Is it any different from an ordinary health exam? Some of us, I admit, had some strange misconceptions. So if we did, you may also have. So that is why we'd like right now to show you what a checkup is really like. To do this, we need a doctor's office or a reasonable facsimile thereof. And the doctor will need some equipment. And we need a patient. Jim, will you volunteer?
Sure.
Then a nurse. No, not that one.
Hello.
Why not a semi-annual checkup? Then, of course, we need a doctor. From now on, this is medical, so I'll just...
Well, a health checkup is a procedure consisting of a complete physical examination. The doctor relies on his eyes, his ears, his fingers, assisted by a minimum of equipment, to look for anything that threatens your health and well-being. Now, during the examination, the doctor is constantly on the lookout for the very earliest sign or indication of cancer so that it can be treated before it's too late. Now, I'll show you how easy the examination is. Will the patient please disrobe? I begin by taking his complete medical history. Physicians all have their own methods. In my case, I start by examining the surface of the body, the skin. Through this examination, I obtain information about the lungs and heart. This will give me information about the lymph nodes and glands. After examining the surface of the body, I examine what I call the openings of the body. First, the ones in the head, the ears, also the mouth, the nose, then come the eyes. The blood pressure is taken. The jumping gives me information on the heart and blood vessels. Now, Mr. Backus, will you stand straight? We're about to go inside Magoo once more. Very straight, please. I'm doing this to point out a fact important to all men. About 1/4 of cancer in men occurs in this area. This is why a rectal and proctoscopic examination is so important a part of your annual health checkup. Another part of any health examination is the taking of a blood sample. This sample, along with a sample of the patient's urine, is sent off to the lab. Also, X-ray examinations. If your doctor detects any abnormality present, other special examinations may be made. However, the chances are overwhelming that when you walk out of a doctor's office, maybe you won't be without shorts as Magoo was, but you'll be feeling as Magoo did. Now, one last word. Learn the 7 danger signals of cancer. When you spot one, go to your doctor. For if it is cancer, prompt attention and treatment may save your life. Oh yes, before we close, while we've talked mostly about men, it's important that women have an annual health checkup too.
Oh, just a minute there, Doctor. One question. You had your checkup yet?
Yes, as a matter of fact, last week.
Oh, very well. Just wanted to help. Well, I might as well pick
If you want any further information on cancer,
Where is that?
call your local unit of the American Cancer Society.
Clothes.
Their number is in the phone book.
Found that, nurse.
Thank you.
Hidden my clothes. Oh, nursey. Oh, drat it. Drat it, I still can't find my pants, coat or tie. Ooh, I hadn't realized my coat was quite such a strong color. Oh, well, I mustn't complain. At least I found it. Oh, well, I'll put it on right over here. It certainly seems a little large for me now. Ooh, well. This coat would be big in Princeton. Oh, my. Yeah, well, I wonder where that little Nursey went. Oh, Nursey! There's something wrong with this coat. It doesn't fit. Oh, well, it is a pretty color. Yeah, a pretty colored coat. And away we go.
I love films like that. You know, you take the Magoo character, and we assume that cartoons are always made for kids, but Mr. Magoo, like many cartoons, were made for adults as well. And the idea this is totally for adults. It's pretty great. The next film we're going to watch is part of our favorite series about seeking employment and careers. It's the Is a Career in Blank series for you. And of course, this has that really catchy song that's going to be hard to get out of your head today. So this is a career in hotel or motel business for you. Enjoy.
What you gonna do when the time comes and you have to earn your way? What you gonna do when the time comes and you have to earn your pay? What will you do when you're finally on your own? What will you do when you're finally on your own? What will you do when you're finally on your own?
Say, have you ever considered a career in the hotel or motel business? It's the 7th largest service industry in the United States. Over 750,000 people, half of them women, work in some 70,000 hotels and motels in the United States, where every day 3 million rooms are made ready for travelers. Many more men and women find employment at ski lodges, dude ranches, and summer camps. As our population continues to grow and people find extra time for vacations here and abroad, more and more new jobs will open up. New hotels and motels are being built to accommodate the increasing number of travelers jetting around the world, touring by bus or car. Each year, at least 50,000 more jobs open up just to replace workers who leave, retire, or advance to higher-paying positions in careers that may interest you. This film will give you a chance to see if you would like to be a part of tomorrow's hotel or motel business. Hotels and motels are people places. Guests who expect comfort and service. And people who provide that comfort and service in a variety of ways. The jobs cover a wide range of occupations. Many you'll find only in the lodging business. These fall into 4 general areas. The housekeeping department,
guest services, the front office department, and the managers and their assistants. However, you'll find many other people working in hotels and motels at jobs that are similar to those in other industries. Chefs and cooks, for instance. Waiters and waitresses. Bartenders and busboys. In addition, stationary engineers, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, painters, and gardeners. Accountants, bookkeepers and cashiers, secretaries and typists, telephone operators. Others are employed in a variety of recreational areas as entertainers, lifeguards, ski instructors, camp counselors. Still more are needed, mostly in the larger hotels, as barbers, beauticians, valets, florists, seamstresses, and public stenographers, and in other special service occupations. What kind of money do they make? Well, most salaries are comparable to those paid people performing similar level work in other industries. Some workers receive tips in addition to a base salary. Since most hotels and motels are open 24 hours, people are employed on 3 8-hour shifts. Many night workers receive additional compensation. Fringe benefits at many of the larger hotels and motels may include paid holidays, sick leave, life insurance, and group hospitalization. In some areas, union membership may be required for certain positions. For lower-level jobs, little education is required. Training is given in-house, since most hotels and motels have their own practices and style. Some jobs require a high school or vocational school education. Training courses offered by many schools and the industry itself, in housekeeping skills, for example, can be good preparation. A college degree in hotel management is desirable for jobs leading directly to management. Hotels and motels usually promote from within. No matter what your beginning position, you will have an opportunity to watch and learn. With experience and additional training, you may work up to a managerial position. The size of hotels and motels ranges from a few rooms to 1,000 or more. To keep them clean and attractive, every hotel and motel employs people to work in their housekeeping department. A housekeeper is usually in charge. She hires, trains, supervises, keeps records. The larger hotels and motels employ an executive housekeeper. She is an administrator, supervising a staff often numbering in the hundreds. She prepares the budget, orders repairs, handles interior decorating, and has other housekeepers reporting to her. Maids clean rooms, make beds, and provide fresh linen and towels. They take their instructions from the housekeeper. Porters and housemen are also under her direction. In the larger hotels or hotel chains, the housekeeper will have many floor housekeepers, most of whom were formerly maids and were promoted from within. The uniformed doorman helps guests in and out of cars and taxis. He calls taxis, sees that a guest's car is parked and delivered to the front door as needed. This is the bell captain. He gets the calls for bellmen, assigns their work, keeps their time records, instructs new bellmen. Bellmen are employed in hotels and a few motels. They must be neat, tactful, and courteous. They are responsible for room service, run errands, deliver packages, perform all sorts of services for guests. You can move up behind the front desk, first as mail clerk, then as key clerk. You can study at night school and move up to assistant manager, even manager. Maybe someday you can go into business for yourself, buy a motel or small hotel. Basically, the desk clerk rents the room. He's got to know which rooms are available, consider the guest's preferences, be aware of advance registrations, and avoid overbooking the hotel. Neatness, a friendly manner, and personality help in dealing with people. Reservation clerks acknowledge room requests by mail or by telephone, make out reservation forms, and keep the desk clerk advised about guests due to arrive and rooms needed. Rack clerks keep room records concerning vacancies or those closed for repairs, and inform housekeepers and telephone operators about changes in room occupancy. Management has the job of keeping guests happy and satisfied, giving them maximum comfort, and, of course, showing a profit. At small hotels and motels, the manager may look over everybody's shoulder every day. At large hotels, he needs help. He employs several assistant managers. He promotes people from within his staff to these jobs. Increasingly, young people are trained who have specialized in hotel management in college or private hotel management schools. The executive housekeeper reports directly to the manager. He holds her responsible for keeping the hotel clean and attractive. The front office manager makes sure that guests are properly received, that all services are rendered, mail forwarded, and reservations made. The food manager is in charge of banquets, restaurants, and so forth. He not only sees that supplies are always available, but that the food is properly prepared, served correctly, and priced right. The personnel manager sees that vacancies on the staff are filled and that in-service training programs are conducted for new people and those wanting to grow within the hotel. The maintenance manager is responsible for everything from the heating and air conditioning systems to fixing a lock. He has a large staff of craftsmen to help him. To keep convention quarters, banquet halls, and ballrooms filled, a full-time sales manager with his clerical people are needed to finalize arrangements and see that they are carried out. More than 150,000 managers are employed in hotels and motels in independent or chain operations. Half work for a salary, and some for a salary and bonus. Half for owner managers. Many got their experience working for someone else and then went into business for themselves. Wherever people travel, on business or for pleasure, on the road or by air, summer or winter, for a day, a week, or a month, that's where the jobs are. You can pick the area where you'd like to live, and chances are there are hotels, motels, or resorts nearby. You might learn something firsthand about the hotel-motel business while you're still in school by getting a part-time job on weekends and during vacations. Think it over. If you would like to work with people, if you like the excitement and activity you find at a summer resort, a winter playground, or the quiet of a health resort, the action at a dude ranch, the elegance of a luxury recreational hotel, and principally, if you like to serve people, then a career in the hotel-motel business may be for you. But before you make a decision, you will want to know or find out about the many other career opportunities in the world of work. You will want to see the companion films to the one you're seeing now, the other titles in the library of 40 career counseling films. You'll want to dig into occupational information in the library and the school guidance office. Talk to your school counselor, who can help you understand your work preferences and aptitudes. Talk to your parents, to people working in various occupations, and consult with the people at the local office of your state employment service. They know the employment outlook in your community as well as generally in the country. They can tell you about wages, job qualifications, and other conditions. Make it your business to discover what your business should be Then when you choose your career, you can choose it wisely from among all the career areas you like and are suited for. Having made your choice, get all the additional information you can on the career area. Plan with your counselor. Determine what further education and training you will need to qualify, and what part-time work you might get in your career area. Start working on your program. Your future will be what you make it.
What you gonna do when the time comes and you have to earn your way? What you gonna do when the time comes and you have to earn your pay? What will you do when you're finally on your own? What will you do when you're finally on your own?
What will you really do?
When you're finally on your own.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's total 70s. The split screen, the multiple windows, all that stuff is really awesome. And all that beautiful B-roll footage of people managing hotels or motels is really sweet. All right, this next film also has a lot of beautiful B-roll footage, and this is of computers. It's called Electronic Computers Improve Management, and this is a early film for managers to tell them about how great computers can be for their business. And this is when the computers were mainframes and not little tiny desktops. Enjoy.
This is an emergency meeting of all departmental heads of the XYZ Furniture Company. That's Mr. Armstrong, the president. He called the meeting to discuss the loss of a $75,000 order. This has been one of several large orders lost in the last few months. According to Mr. Johnson, sales manager, it was production's fault. But according to the production manager, Mr. Smith, his department was not at fault. Let's take time out and analyze why this order was lost. February 1st, the $75,000 order for Futura chairs was signed at the customer store for delivery before March 15th, in time for their annual spring sale. February 4th, the order was mailed to the plant. February 6th, it was received at the plant. February 8th, the order went through a credit check, where there was a 2-day delay because of the amount of small orders being checked. February 13th, the order was typed in the sales department. A couple of new girls were being trained on the job, thus causing another delay. February 14th, the order was checked for accuracy by another girl. A mistake was found and it had to go back. More lost time. February 15th, the order was received at production control. February 18th, a clerk checked the inventory status of Futura chairs. He found there was not enough in stock to fill the order. February 19th, the order was passed on to the production scheduling group to determine how soon the necessary chairs could be built. By February 20th, the production schedule had been analyzed. It was found necessary to revise all production plans in order to meet the March 15th delivery date. February 21st. Based on this new plan, the supply of raw materials was checked. Not enough in stock to even begin filling the order. More raw materials had to be obtained. February 22nd, the order for raw materials was typed, verified, and signed. This was done more rapidly than usual because now they realized they were in trouble. From February 22nd to March 4th, they waited for the raw materials. Meanwhile, preparations were made so production could begin as soon as the materials arrived. March 5th, the raw materials arrived and production began. March 19th, production completed. March 21st, the furniture was finally ready for shipment, but it was 6 days too late for the customer's spring sale. Order canceled. So the furniture went to the warehouse instead. The bottleneck was paperwork. Actual production took only 16 days, but it took 28 days of paperwork and delay before production could even start. However, the problem did not end there. According to the chief accountant, the profit and loss statement for February showed that they had built up their warehouse inventory of colonial-style furniture to $150,000. This style was not selling as well as predicted, so they had to cut the price to $120,000 to get rid of it. This meant a loss of $30,000. To make matters worse, still more colonial was in production. By this time, everyone was well aware of the problem. But what was the solution? How could management control be improved? Hire 100 more clerks? No. There's a more practical solution. Industry has a powerful new tool for handling paperwork operations and for improving management control: electronic data processing.
Electronic data processing, genie of business. Almost like a story out of the Arabian Nights, electronic data processing has suddenly appeared as a new helper for the businessman. A machine with many of the characteristics of the human mind, it follows management's instructions exactly. This is not tomorrow's dream. It is equipment ready and available for use today. There are electronic machines available in many price ranges, including large equipment, medium-size equipment, and even small equipment that can be applied to numerous computation problems in business. What are the major characteristics of this new management tool? First, and perhaps most significant, is the computer's ability to carry out a long series of operations without human intervention. To accomplish this, the machine has stored inside it all of the different procedural steps that it must follow. When there are several alternative procedures that might be used in a given case, the machine automatically selects the right procedure and follows it. All of these procedures can involve many thousand individual instruction steps. The second major characteristic is that of memory. The machine has two basic types of memory. One being a large volume type of memory for storing the files of the business. The other is a small volume, high-speed memory where all of the procedural steps are retained. To illustrate the large volume memory, a life insurance company might have several 100,000 active insurance policies. All of the information on all of these policies can be retained on tapes such as these, and the machine could search automatically for a desired policy record. The third major characteristic of these machines is speed combined with accuracy. Instructions and data stored on this rotating magnetic drum can be selected by the machine in a few thousandths of a second, or can be selected from these magnetic cores in a few millionths of a second. Reports for management can be printed out at fantastic speeds also. This printer can print up to 10 lines per second. From the teletype or from typist, information on punched paper can be fed directly into the computer. In watching an electronic data processing system in operation, you are struck by how few people are involved. This impression is misleading. There are more people behind the scenes than first meets the eye. In fact, the real challenge for electronic data processing is getting properly trained people. There is an urgent need for systems engineers who lay out the broad procedures under which the system will work. Then there is the need for skilled programmers and coders who write the detailed procedures for the machine. A new type of machine operator is needed who understands the operation of the machine and can get the work out on time. Tape librarian and tape changers who make sure that the file tapes are properly identified, and accurate data recorders who enter the information into the system. Eventually, we will see the work of the automation engineer, where the computer will directly instruct the machine tools in the production shop as to what parts to make and how many to make. The machines are here. Automation of the office can be a reality. Electronic data processing is truly a genie which can improve the competitive position of a firm, and it is here now.
To understand how these systems can benefit management, let's see how they operate. First, input. As a sales order is typed, the same information is punched on a paper tape and then transferred to magnetic tapes. One full typewritten order is stored on about 1 inch of tape. The magnetic tape then becomes the file of the sales orders, arranged alphabetically by customer name. All information ordinarily contained in several filing cabinets can now be stored on one reel of tape for faster reference. Next, processing. The electronic system includes a computer which performs functions such as checking, posting, analyzing, scheduling, summarizing, statistics, inventories, and so on. These processes reduce the mass of input data to the key information necessary for effective management. This one system operates faster and more efficiently than innumerable clerks. A high-speed printer translates this information in machine language into written human language, such as credit reports, shop orders, inventory reports, accounting reports, and so on. But computers will do more than clerical work. They can present to management essential data for more efficient control. For example, suppose the electronic system predicts not enough in stock for anticipated orders. Management is notified and can take action. Suppose actual sales are greater than predicted sales. The high-speed electronic system would detect such a trend immediately and would automatically compute a revised sales forecast. This allows management to adjust production to avoid bottlenecks. All this takes place at a speed impossible for any number of clerks. And now back to the XYZ company. How would this speed, accuracy, and greater control have saved their $75,000 order? First, sales orders would be typed and the paper tape punched at the numerous XYZ sales offices throughout the country. The tape would be airmailed or fed into a teletype line. The customer file tape unit would spin to locate the customer's record, and the processing machine would check his credit rating. If found satisfactory, the processing machine would go to the second tape unit, the furniture inventory file. The system would check the inventory level of Futura chairs. If there were enough, it would automatically order shipment from the warehouse. However, if the inventory were too low, as happened with Futura, it could notify management immediately. Management could then take action and use the electronic system to schedule the necessary production. Raw material supply would be checked automatically. If there were not enough raw materials in stock to build the required chairs, the machine would print out a purchase order. With the issuing of this order, the paperwork would be completed. This speed and efficiency would have saved 20 days for the XYZ company. The production deadline could have been met, and the $75,000 order would have been saved. But the advantages of electronic systems go far beyond this for XYZ, in fact, for everybody. For example, the consumer will pay lower prices. The customer will be assured of earlier deliveries. The salesman will have better customer relations. The employees will be engaged in more supervisory work and a less monotonous routine. The controller will always have up-to-the-minute financial reports. The department heads will have fewer crises, and the stockholders will have less of their investment tied up in inventory. Management will benefit most directly. The electronic system will provide all necessary data in time for effective forecast and control.
All right, so this last film is If You Took Your Family to Work, and this is a safety film. And what's great about this is it's trying to pull people in the workplace out of their workplace niche and think about, like, well, you know, those safeguards that you take when you're at home with your family, they're just as important to use those safeguards when you're at work. And so this film is trying to appeal to people's, or men specifically, a sense of duty and responsibility with their family and trying to extend it to the workplace. Enjoy.
Say, there's Jerry Reynolds. You know him? I bet you'll get a kick out of hearing what happened to him a couple of days ago. Or did it happen? Even Jerry isn't too sure. The Lighter and Butch, that pulled business at breakfast the other morning. At breakfast the other morning. Yep, this is Butch, getting ready to go to work. That's a favorite game of his, going to work with Dad. As a matter of fact, most mornings, Butch is rushing Jerry through his second cup of coffee. Okay, Pop, let's go. Now, wait a minute, son. Work is no place for kids. Heck, the way guys leave stuff laying around, you're liable to fall, break your neck. Wait, you're liable to do something crazy and somebody else will get hurt. It'd take an act of Congress or some magic to get you there. Magic? Hey, how about that? There's an idea. Oh, nuts. Too bad, Butch. I sure could have used a good partner on the job, but I guess we'll just have to wait until you grow up a little, huh? Boy, that's all we need. Kids hanging around the job. Butch? Can't be.
It's 9 o'clock. He's in school. Hey, now, just a minute. What's the matter with me? Of course Butch isn't here. Hi, Joe. Well, those eyes of mine are sure playing tricks on me. I don't know. I just don't know. Funny thing, though. Those eyes playing tricks on him like that kind of set Jerry to wondering. Suppose he had actually taken Butch to work with him. Where'd he hear something like that before? Suppose a man took his family to work with him. Would he do his job any different? Safer? Well, some guys maybe. They take such foolish chances. But now, Jerry, he does his job the right way, no matter who's around. You don't catch him doing anything crazy. No, sirree. Crazy? Well, Jerry didn't know it yet, but his whole day was going to be slightly crazy. What's wrong now? The way guys leave stuff laying around, you trip, get hurt. Talk about a guy's words coming home to roost. But you know, that's right, I guess. Pretty dumb to leave those nails sticking up. Better get busy and hammer them down. A few minutes later, Jerry had a job to do up on the second story. He got his stuff together and got ready to go up the ladder. But say, look, some dope cracked the rail. You'd think somebody'd do something about it. Oh, well, I'm no heavyweight. You're liable to fall, break your neck. Oh, no, not again. Oh, no, of course not. I must be getting slap-happy or something. Of course, maybe I ought to... heck no. Let somebody else worry about that cracked step. Come to think of it, though, maybe I ought to be that somebody. Maybe I ought to do something about it. Right now. You know, even a simple thing like sawing a board, that's a job you do almost without thinking. You get in the habit of using the saw with a guard wedged back. But today, somehow, darn it, Jerry couldn't help figuring maybe he ought to use it the way it's supposed to be used. So if anything happens, at least you'd be safe. A little bit later, Jerry was on still another job, and, hey, gosh, that's a long way down, isn't it? Looking at it from that angle, maybe it's not such a dumb idea to put up a scaffold rail, the way the boss is always saying it should be. Same way with that opening in the floor. You can walk across on that one plank, of course, but I don't know. Must have seen it a dozen times this week. But suddenly, what the heck? A couple of planks in a couple of seconds, and it'd be safe for everyone. You know, it's a kind of a funny thing. When you work on a job day in and day out, you just naturally figure that you're doing it right. You never stop to think that maybe some of the things you're doing aren't so smart. That maybe you're taking a chance on getting hurt. And if you do, what then? But what the heck? If a guy had to worry all the time, he'd go nuts. He'd never have any fun. And speaking of fun, what a setup. a keg of nails, and Shorty over there. Wow, will I catch 'em? Oh, my gosh, suppose I had tossed those nails. I didn't know Shorty was going to turn around with those snapshots of his. I might have caught him right in the eye.
Liable to do something crazy. Somebody else will get hurt.
Boy, you sure feel like a dope, like 2 cents, when it suddenly hits you that you might have hurt somebody else. You keep on thinking that you haven't got the right to fool around, to take chances. Because when something does happen, it's not just you or the guy you work with who gets hurt. Sometimes his wife and his kids take it on the chin, too. All of a sudden, Butch isn't interested in homework anymore. Not with his dad home from work. Butch wants to know all about it. What it was like, what happened today. And maybe sometime, huh, Pop? You know, there's something Butch doesn't know. Probably never will. He was at work with his dad today. Yes, sir.
That was a wonderful film. Yeah, normally I would show the Shake Hands with Danger remix, but I don't have that handy here where I am. But I would like to say thank you so much for tuning in, and you are welcome to support us by hitting the thumbs up button or the like button or the subscribe. As always, we love your comments, and I appreciate your well-wishing. You can support us also by buying us coffee at ko-fi.com/avgeeks. The URL is right over here. But we'll be back again tomorrow with some more films. We got so many, and even though I'm not live, we got to keep sharing them. We got to keep this momentum going, and watching more and more films, because even though I'm not actively collecting new films, they show up all the time. So we're still kind of getting new films all the time, and we haven't even seen all the ones that we currently have. So I appreciate you being there, watching them with us, and I appreciate your comments. And we will see you again tomorrow. Everybody take care and have a great rest of your day.